Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Kingdom Come Deliverance. And today I have something a little bit special. I'm excited about it. We are doing one of the DLC quests which I downloaded last week. Can you guess which one I'm doing? I'm pointing towards the quest marker now. I'll give you a clue. It's to do with Sir Radzig. Yes, I think you've guessed it. I am going to try to do...
Hey, Henry's come to see us.
Band of Bastards. So let's get this ball rolling, shall we?
Good to see you, lad. Sir Hanush told me you won his tourney. Good job, Henry.
Okay. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. It gives a good break from just doing the normal quests and stuff. Although, you know, I'm not tired of the normal quests. But, yeah, okay. About the danger on the roads.
Sir,
let's do this.
Can I ask you about something?
Of course, Henry.
Well, I thought since we chased the bandits out of Pribyslavitz, the roads would be safer.
Ah, criticizing your liege lord, are you? And what, in your opinion, should he do about it?
Oh no, I don't mean anything by it. Just that it surprises me.
Easy, lad. I'm only pulling your leg. You're quite right. The roads really aren't safe. Mostly due to one thing. My garrison is a shamble these days. I lost most of my men in Skalitz, and what I'm left with after Pribyslavitz is hardly enough even to guard Pigstein. Let alone guarding the roads and patrolling the rest of the province. I simply don't have the men.
Uh-huh. I understand.
That is, I didn't have the men. As it happens, you've come at just the right time. Recently, I asked an old acquaintance for help. Sir Kuno of Rychwald and his mercenary band. The men who ride with him are a rough lot, mostly former convicts, but they're as capable as any squad of soldiers.
Well, excuse me for being so bold, but there's plenty of mercenaries around. Surely you can find a more respectable band?
You have a point, lad, but I'd like to tell you I talked to Kuno because I trust him. But actually my reasons are of a more pragmatic nature. You see, Kuno owes me a favour, so he'll serve me free of charge.
So, you want me to join them?
Yes, but that's not all. I told Kuno I'd send him a guide, but really what I need is for someone to keep a close eye on him and his men. Someone reliable. And I'd say you fit the part. Go and report to him at his encampment. You'll ride with his band on patrols and make sure they don't get too disorderly.
Okay. We got our quest. See this Kuno and keep an eye on him. So, who is Kuno of Rychwald?
Who is this Sir Kuno of Rychwald?
He's the last Baron of the House of Rychwald, which became impoverished. So he took to the mercenary trade, like many poor noblemen do, unless they become robbers, which often isn't all that different. He's certainly an entertaining companion, but as a mercenary, well, let's just say he has his own particular approach to certain matters.
That sounds a little worrying.
Oh, it's nothing too bad. Just that now and again he needs reminding not to step over the line.
Okay, so we ask him that. How come he owes you then?
How is he indebted to you?
I did him quite a big service, actually. I saved him from the hangman.
Oh, that sounds like quite a story. How did it happen?
You should ask him. You'll be spending quite a while riding together, so it'll help pass the time. But one thing I can tell you, he seems to have taken inspiration from me. A lot of his men had their own encounters with the executioner too.
Okay, so I'll do it. I have to, really.
All right. I'll go and report to him.
Excellent. He set up camp between Rattay and Ledechko. It's a good base for covering the province. Good luck, Henry. And watch out for yourself.
I will, sir. Thanks.
Take care.
Okay, quest started. Band of Bastards. So I have no idea how long this DLC quest is. I thought it was involving Sir Radzig, but maybe it will do at a later time. Anyway, let's go and see Kuno, and I guess I'll see you guys there. Let's see what happens. So before I go and see Kuno, I do want to get the mutt, the dog, as a companion, because obviously I got all the DLC quests. I can't for some reason... Hello? I can't for some reason just get it, so I wonder if we can talk. To
You look like
Teresa.
something the cat dragged in.
Bit rude. Is there anything about a dog? Oh, here. What's that dog wandering around here?
What's that dog you have here? He looks familiar.
Hey,
Don't you
lad,
remember him?
Don't you want a little
It's
wager
Mart,
on the Rattay
the butcher's
tourney?
dog from Skalitz.
Ah, of course. When I went back to bury my parents, he was guarding his master's dead body. Faithful dog. come
Yes,
he's
he
here?
was, wasn't
We
he?
carted you here. We took Mutt along too. He's been hanging around the mill ever since.
Okay, so how's he doing?
How's he doing?
A lot better now. I slipped him something good now and again when Uncle wasn't looking.
He won't starve to death then.
What does the miller think about it?
What does the miller have to say about it?
He can't stand him.
How's that?
Every time he sees him, he starts shouting that he's a useless mouth to feed and that he'll skin him.
Jesus.
And it didn't even soften his heart when Mutt brought a hare from the woods. He was happy to eat it, but it didn't change his mind.
I could have a word with him.
That would be a waste of time.
Okay, is he? Can we have it? Can we just have the
Does he
dog,
obey
please?
you?
Me? Not much. He's got a mind of his own, and I'm just not strict enough.
Ah, spoilt then.
No, he just hasn't learned many commands. But he's well able to beg for a piece of meat.
How long has he been with you?
More or less since we came here. He runs off now and again, but he always comes back. Sometimes I don't see him all day. I think he likes to go wandering.
So he's doing quite well then.
Yeah. I'd keep him, but he reminds me too much of Tinker, you know? I don't want to think about Skalitz. So I thought maybe you might take him with you?
Me?
I'm sure the two of you would get on great. He's a handsome fella and lovable. I'd be very happy if you had him.
But we never
mean-
had a dog at the smithy. We never needed one.
Come on. He's got no one.
Yes, I will take him off your hands.
All right. I'll take him. He can keep me company on my travels.
Thanks, Henry. Go and get him then.
Hey, lad.
He's sniffing
Don't you
around
want a little
somewhere
wager
here.
on the Rattay tourney?
All you're going about is a bloody wager on the tourney. Right, where's the dog gone? Talk to the
Hey,
Mutt.
Mutt.
Can we call it someone better?
Remember
We-
me? From Skalitz. Remember? You want to go with me? Come on then. We'll get on like a house on fire. Follow me.
Right, we're basically nearly here now, and I've just been observing the dog, and it doesn't do anything else, pop and piss everywhere, you know? I haven't seen it go for a poo yet, mind.
I'll be with you. I'm looking for Sir Kuno. Sir Kuno? Baron Rychwald. Isn't this his camp?
You won't get nothing out of him. You must be Radzig's man. I heard he was supposed to send someone.
Yes, Sir Radzig sent me as a guide. I'm Henry.
I'm Jakey, and this here fella we call the Stone.
I can see why. What's up with him? Cat got his tongue.
No, more like the dog got it. The executioner's dog. When the
Oh.
executioner ripped it out of him. Anyway, you better come along with me. I'll introduce you to the other fellas and the chief. These here are the Bearman brothers, Petter and Jan. They're a barrel of laughs, except when they're too drunk to string two words together. Like now. Don't get on the wrong side of them, though. When their blood is up, well, it ain't a pretty sight.
Okay.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, I'm sure.
Never mind the fancy poses, Stefan. You're trying to kill the fucker, not teach him how to dance. And you, Dangler, stand your ground. Don't let him lead you round by the nose.
Sir? Sir, this is Henry. From Lord Kobyla.
Ah, it's about time Radzig got round to this. We need someone who knows their way around these parts. Leave off with the bowing and curtsying. We don't hold with that tomfoolery here. Jakey! Where the hell are you sneaking off to? Go to the farm and get water. The lads are thirsty.
But I went last time.
And you'll go next time, you ungrateful pup. Get your ass moving. Snot-nosed brat. You pull them out of a pile of shit, and they thank you with back talk. Where were we? Oh yeah. We need a guide who knows these parts. So I hope I can rely on you, Herman.
It's Henry.
Right. As I said to Radzig, I don't want to carry any dead weight. We could find ourselves in some very tight situations where every sword counts.
I know how to handle a sword, all right?
I've heard a lot of fellas say that. They still ended up on the wrong end of one. We'll find out. Stefan, take a break. Dangler, let's find out what Harold here can do.
Loosen up.
Sure. No problem, Chief.
I love the acting in here, the voice acting. I think it's brilliant. So we're at Kuno's encampment, and we're going to just... Oh, hang on. Prove yourself. Prove what it takes by beating Dangler in combat. Shouldn't be too hard. It shouldn't be too hard. So I just find just riposting is the best thing. Come on, Em. I also learn combos really. I don't see the point of using them because riposte seem to work quite well. Alright, okay. Right, we got him.
You didn't fare badly at all, I must say. You can ride with us.
Thank you.
All right, good. Thanks.
Don't thank me yet. You don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Okay, so preview got what it takes. We've done that. By beating Dangler. Funny name, innit? And rides out on the first mission. Kuno wants to leave during daylight. Okay. Should we ask him about himself? He'll probably just tell us to shut up, I
Sir
expect.
Kuno, can you tell me something about yourself?
Drop the sir. That title brought me nothing but grief. But what do you want to know?
He likes a straight talk, no airs and graces. About the Rychwald family.
Sir Radzig told me the Rychwald family lost its wealth. How did that happen?
There's all sorts of ways to become impoverished. Nothing easier. Especially when your father's a fool and your mother's mad as a bat.
Oh.
But it's a long and twisted story. We took our name from Rychwald Castle, but that actually belonged to the convent of the Poor Clares in Tynitz, and my father only leased it. You see, he knew the abbess there since they were young. Knew her very well. There was even talk that she only joined the order because her family wouldn't let her marry him. Anyway, whether he was fucking her right there in the convent, or he just took a lot of interest in scripture, he spent an awful lot of time in Tynitz.
Okay. Some people are simply devout.
Well, nobles can be very devout sometimes.
Not my old man. He cursed like a tanner's hand. More than once, he threatened to take a whip to our parish priest. Anyway, my mother never had strong nerves. Truth be told, her sanity was always shaky. Pa's escapades drove her cuckoo entirely. Then, one frosty December morning, I was woken by screaming and smoke. I looked out the window. I saw my mother there, in the courtyard, wreathed in flames. Behind her, the stables, the farm buildings and the tower were burning too. And she just stood there, shrieking
Mad.
with laughter.
Christ, that sounds like a scene straight out of hell.
Hellish it was, I can tell you. Me and my sister Adela and a few servants managed to get out before the whole place went up. I couldn't get to my father. Or my little brother. Poor lad was only 7. My sister and I were left destitute after the fire. But then my cousin, Adam of Drevich, took us into his castle. A few weeks later, he offered to buy what was left of our estates and sell me a small fortress near Akovnik. It was a great relief. We suddenly had some hope of a future again. So I told my sister about it. And it was the biggest mistake of my life. A week later, the two of them announced to me they were getting married. And all that was left of our estates, lands, woods, villages, Adela was to get it all as a dowry.
But surely that was for you to decide. You were the head of the family, right?
Aye. Only I barely had 17 years under my belt, and I'd just lost everything. Of course, I argued with them, and that was the only excuse they needed to kick me out of Drevich too.
That's pretty harsh.
You're telling me. But I'm not complaining. As my pa always used to say, if you can turn your hand to something, you'll never be lost. I doubt it ever crossed his mind how often I'd remember those words.
My God, he's such an optimist. Such an optimistic person. Lost everything when he was young. Lost his younger brother, 7 years old. Lost his estate, lost his mother, lost his father. And he's still optimistic. He seems like quite a nice bloke, actually. Right, okay, so I hope you don't find this a bit boring, just talking about, this guy. But you can always fast forward it. So about how come you owe Sir Radzig?
What about your debt to Sir Radzig? How did that come about?
A twist of fate, lad. I was fighting in the hostilities between the House of Schallenberg and the town of Colleen. Some trade dispute it was, and I fought under the Schallenberg colours. In the end, the two sides negotiated a truce, and I rode to Colleen with the delegation that was to parley there. We stopped off at an inn on the way, and it was there that I met Radzig Kobyla. I could tell at first sight he was a man after my own heart. A likeable rogue, with a sharp mind and a merry soul. We spent the whole night drinking together and talking, and in the morning we set off together, with sore heads, but in good temper, since he was travelling the Colleen same as I was. Only, once we reached the city gates, they arrested me on the spot. Seems the burghers had it in for me, since I'd been making their lives hell for a good 6 months. On the other hand, I was a member of the peace delegation, so by rights, they shouldn't have even looked at me sideways. And then it hit me why Radzig was there. Colleen is a royal city, so he was there to represent the king's interests.
I see. So he was on the other side.
That's right. Anyway, they threw me in a dungeon, and a few days later word reached me that the Schallenbergs had reached an agreement with the burghers. Only part of the deal was they would give them my head. And I'd surely have ended my days swinging from the town battlements if it hadn't been for Radzig. He liked me, and he could see it was a dirty trick, so he somehow squared things with the city council.
Lucky for you.
Indeed. I owe my life to Radzig, and I'll never forget it. He's asked me twice before for help. This is the third time, and how could I refuse him?
Okay, so about the members of your band.
I'd like to ask about your men.
Ask away.
Okay, like I said, you can fast forward on this, guys. I'm not sure whether I'm going to keep it in or not. It's a lot of dialogue going on here. So Dangler is when we fought in battle, or a little practice fight.
What about the fellow they call Dangler?
I've never ridden with a better man, I can tell you. He doesn't say a lot, but for that, he listens all the better. Nothing escapes him.
So he scouts for you?
Not just that. It's happened more than once. I was closing a deal with someone, and Dangler told me after that he didn't like the smell of the fella nearly every time he was right, and the fellow tried to stab me in the back afterwards.
Okay, so the Bierman brothers, are they the guys who were passed out on the table?
Those Behrman brothers are quite a pair.
Indeed they are. There's no more mercy in them than in, well, a bear. If I told them to skewer you on the spot, they'd do it, without batting an eyelid.
Jesus.
Oh, aye. They'd argue first about which one of them got to do the job. But they're as obedient as a huntsman's dogs. Real soldiers, the pair of them. Reliable, as long as they don't get too drunk. Then there's no keeping them under control. But nobody's perfect.
All right. So Jakey, let's talk about Jakey first. He's the one we spoke to right at the start.
What about Jakey?
Jakey, that boy will be the death of me. You've got to be tough on him, or he's good for nothing. But I'm fond of him, in a way.
Like a son?
I wouldn't go that far. But I've no family of my own. And unlike those other cutthroats, he seems to me like a good lad.
Well, you're pretty hard on him, though. And the others keep him on his toes, too.
The boy needs a firm hand. I was like him once, and I got the same too. If we let him be, we'd end up with a third bear man. And who'd want that?
True. 2 is more than enough.
And the guy without the tongue was the stone, wasn't he?
What about that dumb one? How did he end up with you?
The stone? Oh, he just kind of tagged along.
Just like that?
Aye, just like that. We were riding from Olomouc to a castle past Kladsko when we ran into him and some other wayfarers camping along the way. You know how it goes. We made acquaintance with them, had a drink or two. Then we travelled on together. After all, there's safety in numbers.
I'm not sure I'd be thinking that if I ran into you lot on the road.
We might have done some things I ain't proud of. But wayfarers are sacred even for me. Anyway, our fellow travellers dropped off along the way. One in Mohelnitz, one in Schoenberg, and the rest in Kladsko. Except for the stone. He stuck with us the whole way. The fellas kept asking him what he was after. But of course he never said a word. When we were approaching Barsdorf, I ordered the men to get rid of him. I had some business at the castle, and I didn't want any strangers sticking their noses in. Stefan tried to tell him nicely, but he just sat there, staring like he was turned to stone. That's when we gave him the name. Then the Bearman brothers tried to get him off his horse. He booted Jan in the face and knocked him out cold. Then he jumped down and felled Petter with one punch. Well, a man who can do that is a man you want on your side. So we kept him.
Weren't you worried about having a stranger in your band? Especially one who didn't talk?
No, I figured if he can't talk, he can't tell. Besides, I've had worse.
All right, and the last one, Stefan. Which one was Stefan? I can't remember. Did we see him?
What can you tell me about Stefan?
Fletching? For one thing, he's a very resourceful fellow.
How did he come to join your band?
Well, let's just say he was in the right place at the right time. You'll find he has quite a knack for that.
What exactly happened?
Sorry, I'd love to tell you the whole story, but I'd be betraying his trust.
Oh, now you've got me curious. Maybe I should ask him myself.
Sure, why not? Our Fletch does love to converse.
All right, I think we can get on our merry way, can't we? The Band of Bastards. So, shall we go on
Should
patrol?
we ride out?
Aye, we ought to set out on patrol about now. Hope you've got your kit ready and whatnot. I'd like to head to the north. Is there anything interesting that way?
North of here, Samapesh and Merhoyed are that way, and Talmberg is a bit further on. There's stables in Merhoyed.
I wouldn't mind paying a visit to those stables. We can go through there.
And from there?
From there, we'll follow our noses.
Okay.
Something interesting is sure to turn up. I feel it in my bones. Mount up and let's go.
Sure.
Chief. He seems a good bloke, doesn't he? Kuno. All right. There we go. This is it. Band of Bastards. Fantastic. Right, so quest started, Bad Blood. So follow Kuno and his band of merry men. And there's our dog as well. So right out on the first mission, Kuno wants to leave during daylight, which we have done now.
I can't smell any chamomile.
Well, men, how are things?
May I?
Yes,
Good.
Fletch?
How shall I put it? I'm a little concerned about the prospects in these parts, Chief.
Yes.
Oh, how's that?
I've been looking around, and if you'll pardon me, it seems to me that we've been stuck for a long time in the arsehole of beyond.
It's not Paris, France, I'll grant you.
What I mean to say is, I haven't got any new kit or arrows since the day Jakey joined us. It makes me uneasy, Chief.
I see. What about the rest of you?
I don't know what Fletcher's moaning about. There's plenty of booze and loose wenches nearby.
Not to mention fools in the taverns who don't know when to stop rolling those dice.
Dangler?
It's the arsehole of Beyond everywhere we go. It always makes me uneasy.
Jakey?
Fletch can complain. I was supposed to get a suit of armor, and all I got was a shitty kettle hat.
Sorry, but they don't do hauberks in girl sizes.
Oh? Well, how did you get yours then?
All right, I appreciate your honesty, lads. Don't worry, there will be plunder. We're here to fight, and to the victor the spoils. That's how it's always been. But no purse of silver will shed blood for you on the battlefield. That's what this company is for. And I hope you never forget the golden rule. You can joke all you want, moan all you want, but nothing will keep your skins in one piece better than trusting your leader, who you choose by your own free will. So don't ever forget that.
Amen.
Chief, I think there's something going on over there.
Oh yeah, what's going on?
Let's go!
Okay,
Behind
Chief.
me, and keep your eyes peeled.
Okay, let me just back up. Okay, let's go forward again. He's a good leader. He sort of instills like courage in his men, and you know, he says basically you can follow me or not. It's your decision. It's your free will. If you do follow me, you have to respect your leader. Yeah, seems a good bloke.
Yeah. What do you think we can expect this time, fellas?
I reckon
Hidden in a piss pot
bandits.
under the bed. A nice chunk of beef no one there will be eating.
On account of it'd just fall out through the holes in their bellies.
Sounds like
eh, brother?
Peshek's voice. Miller Peshek, doesn't it?
My mouth is already watering, brother, and I ain't even touched the purse yet.
Once you
Oh,
get your hands
something's on. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Okay. Looks like we've got some buildings here. Okay, maybe we're not staying here. I thought we would be. You discovered burnt out farm.
What about you, Dangler? What do you expect to find?
Futility and human suffering, like always.
Always full of good cheer, eh,
Okay, so
Dangler?
objective started. We have to
Why don't you
search the
take a leaf
burnt
out of Stone's
out
book?
farm and try to find traces of the attackers.
I wish you'd all shut the fuck up.
Keep your
Okay.
eyes peeled, though. There might be someone hiding out here still. Look for clues and question the survivors, if there are any.
Come on then, doggy. Right, we got to look for survivors. Right, okay. Oh dear, there's been a massacre. Oh, let's inspect this.
Jesus Christ, what a massacre.
It's terrible, isn't it? Inspect.
What a pile of shit. I wonder if they found anything valuable at all.
The dog's barking. Does that mean he's found something? I wonder.
They weren't even armed.
This is terrible.
God almighty.
Did you find anything, dog? Okay, we got to find. There must be a survivor somewhere.
Looks like it happened fast.
Or even a girl. Two good girls. All right.
No signs of resistance. They simply slaughtered them like animals.
I'm expecting to find somebody in here, probably hidden somewhere. Let's have a look. A dog is barking. More blood. Oh, what's this? It's a letter or something. The letter says... Don't know. Didn't read it.
Kuno will want to know about this.
Search Burnout Farm, House of Zul Shield, and a message for Sir Radzig. Should we read the letter? Okay, Radzig Kobyla, your unscrupulous beast devoid of Christian morals, I accuse you. You abandon all honour and virtue when you perpetrated acts of cruelty and malevolence. Okay, Sir Kuno? Let's tell him about our findings.
I found this shield in a shed along with a letter. Seems like someone left us a message.
Show me that. I know that, Chris. It's the House of Zul. A dangerous lot, God's truth. I don't think we'll find anything else here. We'll stay here a while, just in case. And you should go and report to Radzig what happened.
Okay, so what do you know about the Zulls?
What do you know about these Zulls?
A family of impoverished nobles. They fought in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia. But what they're after in Bohemia, I've no idea.
Okay. I'd like to go looking for those raiders. Well, no, let's go see Sir Radzig.
I'll ride out right away.
Go. Ride like the devil. If they openly left a message like that, then I reckon there's trouble on the horizon.
All right, come on then, dog. Let's go and see Sir Radzig. I'll see you guys there. Okay, Sir Radzig, here we are.
Greetings. What do you need?
Wow, I've got bad news.
Sir, I'm afraid I have some bad news. We came across a burnt-out farm near Merchayed.
Christ! It seems Pribyslavitz wasn't the end of it.
Now, this is something else, sir. We found a shield there with a crest. A tricolour star on a blue field.
I know that coat of arms, unfortunately. It's the House of Zul.
There was a letter there, too.
Show it to me. Although I think I already know what it will say.
Here you are, sir.
Unscrupulous beast. Cruelty and malevolence. I challenge you to face me in a duel. Defend your honor. Antinomious wretch. Well, that's nice. Signed, Hagen Zul. As I expected, old grievances coming back to haunt me.
Okay, so Hagen wants to fight you. Fight you? Question mark.
This Sir Hagen wants to challenge you to a duel.
Apparently, he still hopes I will agree to this kind of outmoded solution to disputes.
Surely you can't refuse a challenge to a duel. What about your honor?
Henry, my boy, honor is a splendid thing, and it should be held in high regard. But in time, you'll learn that some matters are not so straightforward.
Like this one?
Yes, like this one. The only reason Hagen is challenging me now is that he has a marked advantage. I've served as the royal hetman for the last 15 years and become a courtier. Hagen, meanwhile, was fighting in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia, and elsewhere as a mercenary. Which of us do you think would win a duel? That's not honor, but an abuse of honor. Commonplace opportunism. I don't blame him for trying, but I'm not such a fool as to play by his rules.
Okay, so what's your dispute with this Hagen?
What happened between you and Sir Hagen?
That's a long story.
Okay. Just the gist of it. Yeah, just the gist.
Well, if I'm to know what I'm up against, I'll need to hear at least the gist of it.
True. All right, in a nutshell. Several years ago, I had to resolve a bloody feud between the Zulls and another family.
Okay.
The Zulls were clearly in the wrong, but refused to accept my ruling.
Okay.
So, I hanged the head of the family, razed their castle to the ground, and confiscated their property. Ever since then, they've had it in for me, not surprisingly.
But you acted in good conscience.
Yes, although in retrospect it might seem excessively harsh. And it doesn't help that the other family is related to mine.
Ah, so a bit of favouritism, maybe. So, what are we going to do?
What are we going to do about this?
You and Kuno's band will just have to deal with Hagen and prevent further mayhem. The longer he's marauding around these parts, the greater the chances that I'll finally have to succumb to his conditions.
So you'd fight him, if it came to that?
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. But maybe there's something else behind this challenge. Maybe it's coin he's after. Who knows?
All right. We'll deal with him, sir.
I'm sure you will, Henry.
Okay, so we've done that. I suppose we have to go back to Kuno now. And,
See you later.
so quest completed, Bad Blood. Right. So meet with Kuno in the encampment. Okay, we might as well do that. I might make these episodes a little bit longer than usual, guys, because I won't get through these for bloody years otherwise. Because Kingdom Come, as you know, is a bloody long game. And I've started Kingdom Come Deliverance back in April. So, right, let's go see Kuno. Alright, we're back here at the camp. A lovely, beautiful morning. And here is my man, Kuno. Hello, mate. So, shall we go out on patrol?
I'd been to see Sir Radzig.
So how did he take the news?
Well, he wasn't exactly happy about it.
I can well imagine. I wouldn't want the Zulls plundering my estates either. If I had any.
He wants us to carry on patrolling the area. There's nothing else for it.
That makes sense. I don't think he'll come to us. So we'll just have to hope we run into him. I'd like to check out the big forest to the north, and then carry on via Ujits.
Sure.
Mount up then, and let's go.
Let's go, let's do it. Quest started, uninvited something, I didn't quite see that. Right, we're going to pass through Talmberg. We are going very, very north. Probably somewhere I've never been to, in fact. Uninvited guests is the quest.
Please, can we stop for a bit? My arse is aching, and I've such a thirst I could drink a moat dry.
Same here. What do you say, Chief?
Not to worry. We'll reach Ujits soon. We'll spend the night there.
I heard they've got a peculiar priest there. They say he drinks like the devil himself.
There's nothing strange about that. Every other man of the cloth is a swill pot.
Or a lecher.
Or both.
You hear something?
Listen.
Child's voice? I can see someone running towards us. A girl.
Please, sir, help me.
Don't worry, lass. Nothing to fear. We're with Sir Radzig, in the manner of speaking. What's the matter?
These brigands came. The menfolk fled and left us there. They started pillaging the place, drinking whatever they could find and smashing things. I ran off, but the other girls, You've got to save them. Please, I beg you.
Easy, lass. Drinking, you say?
Aye, sir. They rolled the casks into the courtyard and started swilling like pigs from a trough.
Well, as our old cook used to say, if you want to make a proper goulash, you should soak the meat in ale for a while to soften it first.
Ah, let them get well soaked, and then go and chop them up. Good thinking, Chief.
But what about the girls?
Oh, yeah.
Those men, they were...
I'm sure your friends won't be getting nothing they ain't had before.
Well, unless they be nuns.
Come on, Henry. He's going to say something now, isn't he? No, go in now.
Kuno, the girl's right. If we delay, her friends will pay the price for it.
I appreciate your advice, Henry. But it's caution that'll keep you alive, not chivalrous deeds.
Okay, so, I promise to protect... Let's do this. We should win this one.
You promise Sir Radzig you protect his fiefdom, and that means his subjects too.
Come on, it's not like their lives are in any real danger. Hagen's men just want a bit of fun.
A bit of fun? Are you fucking serious? You know very well, Kuno, how innocent girls can end up after a bit of fun with animals like that. Well, I, for one, am not going to sit back and let it happen, even if I have to creep in there myself and try to rescue them.
Oh, all right. It's not the smartest thing to do. But let's go and tackle those fuckers if that's how you want it.
Good. Thanks.
Right. We better try and save those girls from Hagen's brutes.
It was not too dark. It was not too dark, by the way, guys. Mountain attack on the mill with Kuno. God, it is really dark.
What loot we take from the foe?
I wanted to charge them with a terrifying roar. There'll be no more wine flowing here. Now it's your blood that will...
I'll tell you what. When you got Nighthawk potion
They'll be shitting
on,
themselves.
This place looks beautiful. Right, let's get our swords out. Here we go. Come on. It's a bit mental, actually. Oh god, I'm okay, hang on. It's a bit crazy, to be honest with you. It's a bit messy. Anyone else? Here's one. Oh, it's a proper battle, this is. Oh, he's one of our guys, isn't he? Oh yeah, sorry. Mountain attack on the mill with Kuno. Well, we've done that now. Any of our lads died? Right, talk to the members of the Kuno's bands. I'll loot those afterwards, actually.
Can't say I blame them.
The fucking ingratitude. Well, at least the booze didn't run away.
Yeah, but who's this guy here? Is this another guy here? Does he need to get sorted out? Oh, that's the stone. The stone.
So grab some tankards and let's get to it. We've a long way to go to finish the job.
What are we doing? Are we just drinking together or what?
They left us some damn good booze here. And as my old man used to say, the fire of battle must be quenched. Of
Exactly.
course, the only battle he was ever in was with Ma. But still, it fits. Anyway, I hope you'll drink with us.
Yes, sure. Let's have a feast.
Sure. Why look a gift horse in the mouth?
My words exactly. Me and the lads were just saying how we know nothing about you. Most of the folk around here have hardly been further than the village market. But you must have seen a thing or two.
Ah, goodness me. What should we talk about then? All of it? About the raiding Skallets?
That I have. I suppose you heard about the raising of Skallets.
Aye, I heard. And Radzig told me you're from there. But that's probably not the kind of story to go with wine and good cheer.
Okay, let's tell them about the encounter with Lady Stephanie. They'll like that, I reckon.
Do you know Talmberg?
Aye, I do. It's that castle on the hill, not far from here.
That's right. Sir Divish is the lord there. You might have heard he was locked up in his own castle for 7 years by another lord he had some dispute with.
I remember hearing something about that. How did he get out?
His wife, Lady Stephanie, managed to get justice for him in the end, with the help of the provincial council.
Right. But I thought you were going to tell us something about yourself, Henry.
I'm getting there. It's to do with the young Lady Stephanie. She took a liking to me and asked me to help her get some things for her cousin's wedding, which I did. And she was very
grateful.
So the lady was nice to you. That's a charming story. Not exactly bard material.
No, you don't get it, Kuno. She was
very grateful.
What are you... No. Never. You and the lady of the castle.
Yeah, write a song about that.
It was a surprise for me, too.
Are you mad? Did it cross your mind what her husband could do?
No, I suppose. But I was caught up in the moment.
Jesus, Henry. Let me give you a word of advice. We're not from here, so it doesn't matter much. But I wouldn't go telling that story around these parts.
Of course not, don't worry.
Tell us another.
Well, the bathhouse capers was good, wasn't it? With Sir Hans.
Have you heard of Sir Hans Capon?
I heard his name mentioned in Colleen, in connection with some wench, as I recall. A young dandy, eh?
Yeah, that's him. He's going to inherit Rattay once he comes of age. I run some errands for him now and again. Well, once we were at the baths together, and his lordship wanted to seduce one of the bath maids.
Naturally, that's what the baths are for, among other things.
Yeah, but with Sir Hans, nothing is ever straightforward. First, I had to play strip dice.
That's good. Did you win?
I did, but I had to strip myself anyway to get into the tub. Only no sooner had I done so than his lordship demanded wine from the castle cellars, which is a long fucking way from there.
I reckon you're a man who can't resist a challenge.
If I'd been sober. I went all the way there and back in my undergarments, and no sooner was I back than he sent me to pick flowers for the girl from the castle gardens.
It's starting to sound like a fairy tale with 3 wishes.
Well, actually, he probably did have a third wish, but he didn't get a chance to say it.
How's that?
Well, I got back only to find the girl's sweetheart, some guard called Arson Balls, well, that's what Sir Hans called him, trying to drown him in the bath.
Drown a nobleman over a wench. That's balls, all right.
Well, Sir Hans was naked and drunk, so he didn't look very noble. Anyway, I tackled this fella and saved Sir Hans from him. It could have all got out of hand, but it ended with only a few bruises. Sir Hans never got his way with the girl, though.
All that trouble for nothing. Tell us another.
Okay, what else can we say about it? How I became a monk? How we decorated... Well, I'll do this one then.
I've got a good one about
Butcher's
something
house.
that happened in Skalitz.
Right at the
I'm
start.
not sure Skalitz is an entertaining topic.
No, wait, you'll enjoy this one. Well, we had a German as a neighbour, a furrier he was, and he was always blabbering on about how Sigismund was the best thing for this country and how Wenceslas wasn't worth a damn. Me and my mates got fed up with his horse shit. After all, he was insulting our king, and we weren't going to put up with that.
Regular patriots, eh?
And as it happened, this Deutsch had just whitewashed his house. Lovely and white, pure as the driven snow. And next to it was a big pile of fresh manure.
Ah, I think I see where this is going.
Wait, though, his wife was at home, you see. So I went to her and said, "Good wife, sorry to bother you, but your husband is in the tavern insulting the king." And she says, "Oh, God above, the fool is drunk and spouting nonsense again." So she jumps up and off she goes to give him an ear bashing, leaving the coast clear for our operations.
I can just imagine it.
Yeah, you should have seen it. How those shit pies stood out so prettily against that pure white background. And then the Deutsch's son turned up with his mates. Naturally, there was a bit of a brawl. And then the catchpole turned up and we had to beat a tactical retreat.
Quite the general, aren't you? A nice story, but let's just drink.
That was first episode, wasn't it? Episode number 1, back in April. Objective completed. So we're going to be very drunk now. Oh my god. Right, okay. Quest completed. Uninvited guests. Oh my goodness me. Should we get up? Oh, right guys, you know what? I'm going to call that episode there. I don't know how long this episode actually is. It's gone on for over an hour. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed that episode, please hit that like button. And I will see you on the next episode, hopefully. Take care.